Okay, so 710, addendum, consideration of proclamation declaring a shelter crisis urgency due to the current need for sheltering for those experiencing homelessness during the weather and temperature patterns that the county has been experiencing. Supervisor Sabatier.
So I'll go through this quick. I want to show you what the ramifications are of doing this. California Government Code allows us for a shelter crisis, allows for to be declared when a public health safety is in danger, lack of bed space to provide for those experiencing homelessness. On our agenda further on is a warming center. We know that our current declared emergency of COVID-19 is going to lapse in the middle of February. And so we, in speaking with both county council, with community development, this is the way to make sure that it stays covered. It could only last 90 days. After that, we can do 90-day extensions, no more than 730 days. By having this, it decreases the liability for the county and suspends certain local, state, and regulatory statute, regulations, or ordinance prescribing standards of housing, health, or safety to mitigate delays or hindrances to providing a shelter. If we did not have this, we would have to go through the entire CEQA process, which we do want to do for a permanent, but we are way in need of a warming center 2 months ago. And so some of the mandates that come from this, just to explain, is that we have to work to develop a plan to address the shelter crisis. We do have a homeless strategic plan already that should fulfill that, but it will force us to review it and make sure that we are still on target as to what we need and what the plan should be. We need to submit numbers. I can't see what I'm looking at. We need to submit numbers as of each January 1st of every year. So that it can be submitted to the Senate committee. Those numbers are already being collected. So the two mandates, here are the things that need to be collected: estimated number of permanent supportive housing units, total number of residents in homeless shelters within the city. We saw these numbers when we did our HHAP round 4 application. All these things are already being done by behavioral health. I'm sure that Director Metcalf can speak to that if he chooses to, or if we ask him to. Just wanted to at least show you what the consequences and the repercussion is of doing so. If this is not approved, then we cannot move forward with the following item on 7.3. This was the best way that we could figure on how to move forward. And again, this is for temporary only, not for permanent, as that does need to go through the standard procedures. And that is my report.
Anything from the board? Public input?
I see none on Zoom.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Cox. I'm the director of Are You Hunger? I have been serving the community 23 years. This is of the utmost importance that we get this shelter up and running. Right now, I own several homes that I would like to put up for sale that I've been putting homeless people in because we don't have adequate resources available for people. So this is something that is really important to my heart. My passion is it can't wait any longer. If they keep putting this off, pretty soon it won't be necessary. As you know, spring will be here and it'll be less uncomfortable for those that are at risk.
Thank you.
Good evening, Lake County Board of Supervisors. Thank you for your time. My name is Matt Barnes. I'm the Executive Director of Sunrise Special Services Foundation. I've been a Lake County resident for over 30 years, and I have over 20 years experience serving those in need through social service programs. In addition to my role as Executive Director for Sunrise, I serve as the Program Director for Social Advocates for Youth, the only homeless shelter for youth ages 18 to 25 north of San Francisco. Under my direction, SAY has been running Sonoma County's youth warming shelter since November 22. I'm here today to present to you the Sunrise Special Services Foundation proposal for the warming shelter grant.
Excuse me, sir. That's a following item after this. This is solely for the emergency to allow that to happen.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Good evening, Board. My name is Lori Kent. I have been the housing navigator for another nonprofit in the county. I work as a outreach worker in the county. I deal with a lot of the homeless folks in this county, and we really are in need of another warming shelter, and possibly another shelter period. The only housing shelter we have in this county serves 20 folks. It has 20 beds. So we are in need of a warming center at this particular time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bring it back to the board. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. So, my name's Nicole Mullins. I have worked with Elijah House and with Hope Center. My background is working with people incarcerated, teaching parenting classes. I do anger management at our local Lake County Tribal Health, and I am a preschool teacher. When Elijah House closed, it came as a shock to me. I thought that we had plenty of funding and we were helping people. People were gaining things that they needed. It's one thing to house somebody quickly overnight and protect them from the elements. We can help them beyond that, even at a warming center momentarily, by giving them, getting them their ID, getting them the resources they need, so when they are out on the streets, if this doesn't get extended, they're in a better place. My goal at Elijah House as a housing navigator was always, even if that person left in a week, but they were in a better place, they were clean and sober, they had eaten for a week, their sleeping patterns were better. It was a win situation. They were in a better place. And that's what I would like to do, to have my team have the opportunity to help our people out there on the streets. It is warming up, but they still need things. Even if the weather changes and, we get springtime next week, these people still need resources that we have access to. And I hope you consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Still no one else.
Okay, now I'll bring it back to the board.
And I guess I offer the resolution. It's not proposed as a,
It's a proclamation.
I move to approve the proclamation declaring a shelter crisis urgency.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We will go back to 7.3.
It's like,
Thank you. 7.3, consideration of agreement between the County of Lake and Sunrise Special Services Foundation for emergency warming shelter services in the amount of $153,600 for fiscal year 2022-23, and authorize the board chair to sign. Behavioral Health Services.
Madam Chair,
right.
I'm going to recuse myself from this discussion.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. Todd Metcalf, Behavioral Health Services. I want to thank Supervisor Sabatier for bringing the previous item to the forefront here, and thank you for approving it, because that's a segue into what I'm bringing to the board now. As was mentioned earlier, there is a huge need, for a warming shelter in our county, and so we went out to bid. We got another round of the homeless housing assistant and prevention grant monies that Supervisor Sabatier mentioned. These are another couple of rounds of that we went out to bid, and the COC, I'm sorry, I need to introduce Lori Lewis Crandall, the chair of the housing. I'm trying to keep this brief because I know you're all very tired. She is the chair of our Housing Continuum of Care and helped facilitate this process, going through the bidding process. And we went out to bid for these monies to operate a warming shelter. We had one respondent, Sunrise Special Services Foundation. They have been vetted and investigated by the COC, and they were awarded these funds for them to open up a warming shelter. And we're going to have to make an adjustment to the existing agreement because I believe in the agreement it said that this was supposed to start on January 1st. Took us a little while to get this to your board. I'm hoping we can amend that language, but get it approved today, and just the clock will start ticking the day they start operating the shelter at Old Juvenile Hall is the location that has been selected. So with that, as was mentioned before, because of the emergency proclamation, the shelter will run no more than 90 days. Hopefully there might be some more funding that comes along that we can extend it. But for now, we are asking for approval of this agreement for Sunrise Special Services Foundation to operate. I believe it's a 34-bed.
34 or 35, I can't remember. I know I worked there.
We're close.
We're close. It's over there.
Yes. But let's just say a 34-bed warming shelter for the next 90 days once this is approved. So I think that, and Supervisor Sabatier, I'm looking at you, I think that was the only language I believe we need to change. We don't even need to change that.
What the effect?
You've already done it.
We have other things to bring up, but
Oh, okay.
I'll let Ms. Crandall speak first.
Oh, did you want to say anything?
I'm just only here to say that the COC did do the procedure of voting and that it passed and that we are here to see the process move forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So any questions?
Supervisor Sabatier?
I see the pen.
And I prefer living life in a transparent world, so we did have to do some check-in just to make sure, because we use Sunrise, who's also known as Paragon, in multiple ways. Paragon did work with behavioral health in order to obtain the funds from the state, which was the HAP, as mentioned by Director Metcalf. Those funds are dedicated specifically for specific reasons, not dedicated to the services that can be provided to Sunrise. Sunrise then did not take part in creating the RFP. That was behavioral health that manufactured that. And then Sunrise provided a bid proposal to provide the services. We did check in with County Council just to make sure there was not a conflict of interest, and the end result is there is no conflict of interest since the money is specifically dedicated to specific types of services, not created by us, that list description. There are a couple of different things that we wanted to make sure to change. This came before the COC, and the COC provided some changes, and I want to make sure that those changes occur. So I know we talked with Director Ewing about the description of the different of services. That's been taken care of. That's understood who to contact. That the general upkeep of the building is mostly janitorial. Any specific repair, upgrade, or changes needs to go through behavioral health, who will then reach out to our public services director. In Exhibit A, Section 4.2, we wanted to decrease the destination error rate in HMIS or for VSPs, a comparable database, from 20% to 15%. It's easy to create an error when adding information to the HMIS because the information we receive may not be correct, but we would like to challenge Sunrise, just like we are being challenged by our governor, to do better, and so we would like to reduce that error rate, if possible, down to 15%. On Exhibit A, Section 4.2, there was a typo of a minimum of 8% total funding to be spent on youth. We want to change that to 10%, which matches what HAP allows us to utilize. On Exhibit A, Section 5.3, in addition to the language that requests the contractor to provide a quarterly report, we also want to add that contractor agrees to present monthly to the continuum of care regarding the status and activities of the warming shelter so the COC can be up to date on what is going on. And then Also add to Exhibit A, Section 5.5, to state contractor agrees to provide information about local and regional services that those staying at the warming center can benefit from. We want to make sure to lead every person at the warming shelter towards greater services, not just part-time help for overnight stay. We want to change lives. We don't want to just help. That's a huge difference. So I apologize for the language change. We had a COC meeting just last Thursday, I think it was. And so this was right around the time that all the changes were being already processed for our agenda. But these things are important to me because they were important to the COC that we add as changes. It doesn't change the contract with Sunrise. It just adds some specific information requested from them.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm looking at Ms. Grant just to make sure that she agrees with that.
The changes are largely clarifiers, but even if they weren't, your board could consider them today. As far as the term of the agreement, if your board's approving it today, absent any other triggering event that is easily defined at this point, I would suggest the term begin today.
Effective today. Supervisor Green?
Yeah, I don't see it in the packet here, but I have attended one or two COC meetings, and I know there was some discussion about actually signing off on behalf of the COC, and I want to acknowledge your service on COC and also some of the concerns that were raised. So I want to make sure we have total confidence moving ahead and that this representation, that you feel good signing it. And I want to acknowledge some of the concerns raised could be raised by any number of other commissions and councils that do work for the county, but it isn't real clear what exposure somebody serving as a chair or a member of an advisory body may face. So that may be something to talk about for a future agenda item, talking to all our boards and commissions generally. So I want to thank you again for all the hard work you've done on this. I want to make sure your comfort level is there, all the signatures are done, and use this as a learning experience moving forward.
I just want to say thank you, and I just want to point out that it's, in my opinion, it's not about my comfort level, but really it's about the board, and that's what I'm here to do, to represent the board, and I'm speaking for the board, and so I want to give each person who actually has a voice the confidence in knowing that I will move forward with what the consensus is, despite whatever my personal opinions may be. But I am confident in what we're doing right now as a COC. I know that it's very difficult for people to probably understand a process, but I think it will be better for the county, and consistency is good. It's a good thing. When we can be consistent and we can be confident in what we're doing, and we make sure that we're doing the same thing across the board, and we're delivering material, or we're delivering a contract, or we're delivering a service that is consistent. And the only other comment that I wanted to ask, because Anita said for today, and I heard that there was a challenge with them getting into the actual location. Would that assist them with getting into the location a little bit sooner?
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
No, we should have checked in for, no, I've been in communication with the Public Services Director, and he has assured me that we can gain access, well, it's a little late today, but we'll make sure that we get you in there tomorrow, so.
And the only other comment that I had is that it was just because somebody, the point that you commented earlier, much earlier today. Sorry, I've had my full dose, and I don't envy anybody in this room at this moment. But I just wanted to say that there probably should be, in hearing that there might be heat or like warming versus cooling. In my opinion, I'm not speaking for the board at this moment, only in my opinion, that we should maybe also have this leeway where it can extend from warming to cooling, or maybe if the the weather is crazy. So if it's still raining and it's freezing and it's cold, then the center should be able to extend their services so that the community is not suffering of the people that we're trying to serve. And that is just my personal opinion. So that's what I would advocate for.
Work in progress.
And I'll add to that, that we have $300,000. We're only using $153,000 for this at this moment in time. And so there's some opportunities that we need to look ahead and make sure that we're not on January 24th approving a warming center. That way we can be ahead of time. But everything in time.
Absolutely, and I checked and double-checked, and we have the money.
Okay, public input?
Hi, I'm back. So I'll finish my statement here. Our goal at Sunrise is to provide a welcoming and respectful environment where individuals can find respite from the elements, access the basic necessities, and connections to resources and services that can help them transition to more stable housing. Homelessness is a growing problem in our community and is essential that we take action to address it. A warming shelter is a critical service that provides a safe and secure environment for individuals experiencing homelessness during the cold months. It is a temporary solution that can make a significant difference in the lives of those who need it. I urge you to approve our proposal we have set forth today. The need for this service in our community is clear, and Sunrise Special Services Foundation is well equipped to provide solutions. With your support, we can make a positive impact on the lives of individuals experiencing homelessness in Lake County. Thank you for your time and consideration. I would request that our start date is February 1st, given that we have not had access to the facility.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I also ask that we hold off until February 1st. We need to get supplies in there, and we can quickly do a run to Walmart and to Costco, and then get our vendors going so that we have adequate food and supplies for the people coming in. Thank you so much.
I'll take this one. They actually can't enter the facility without the agreement in place. So if they plan on stocking up and getting it prepared to open up, that's the date we need. Whenever you plan to enter the building.
Tomorrow.
How about tomorrow?
Yvonne Cox, time is of the essence, as you all know. I am tired of going to memorials for people that I feed on the regular. Seeing these people dying in the streets has affected me profoundly. We don't have time to wait. I'm willing to work. I have 5 adopted kids I adopted out of the system because the county was splitting them up. Time is of the essence. We need to get the people off the street. I'll work 24/7 to get this open.
Thank you, and I
Any
just,
other public, any other public comment? Okay.
You have a hand up in Zoom, I don't know.
Do we?
well, I see
Abbott.
Scott Abbott. What a trooper! He's in the office still.
I did turn off the alarm, so no SWAT team.
Oh, good. Yeah, I told you I've been caught there before with that alarm. I didn't know, Scott. I'm sorry. Did you want to add anything to the
Yes, I did want to say, one thing. What the proposal is in this project is a warming center. A warming center is different than a full 24-hour shelter. A warming center gives people a place to stay at night out of the cold, which is great. But then it closes in the morning, and people will have to recheck in the evening. Therefore, one of the things that we are doing is we are working with Sunrise, the peer support centers, to provide a place for people to go during the day, and we also will assist with transportation to get them to the shelter and help them check in as well. So the idea is to help people not just at night, but to continue to keep helping them during the day as well.
Thank you, Scott. I forgot about that. And you may recall, we've done that before. We've opened up our peer support centers as a cooling shelter and a warming shelter. So thank you, Scott. I'd forgotten about that.
I have also offered up, I have a house behind my restaurant, and I have offered that up because the hours of us operating was from 4 in the afternoon, and then they have to be gone by 9. And they'll be taken by bus, vans to other spots. I offered my back house as like a community center where there'll be coffee, a hot bowl of soup, cards. I have lots of brand-new board games I purchased for this, so that there's places for people to go. Not everybody there's because of circumstances. We have elderly that aren't looking for work, that are just trying to get out of the elements. So I'm also trying to supply that.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair, if I may, then
Yes.
the effective date of the agreement, if people are going to start attempting to ready the facility and use the facility under the contract, then would be tomorrow, which would be January 24th.
25th.
25th, I'm sorry.
It's been a long day.
25th.
Keep going, it'll be tomorrow.
It will be.
Madam Chair, if there's no further public comment, I would love to move to approve the agreement between the County of Lake and Sunrise Special Services Foundation for emergency warming shelter services in the amount of $153,600 for fiscal year 22, or for 90 days, as of tomorrow.
And with great appreciation for that proposal in District 4.
With
Wait.
all the amendments.
With all the amendments.
The amendments that I stated in the 90 days as of tomorrow fulfills the amendments provided by Ms. Grant.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you for understanding the sense of urgency here and getting this thing going. So I thank you all for your help with
Thanks
this.
for all to have stepped up and gotten us to this point. And Lori.
Yes, everyone.
It's so nice to meet you finally.
Oh my God, I love you guys, thank you. I love fish now, I love the huge fish. I signed up for the huge fish thing.
But I'll sit here with you.
No, I'm gonna jump to 7-9, because Patrick's been on Zoom.
Thank you so much.
And then we'll go to 7.
It's nice to meet you.